Hey guys, what's going on? It's Gunnar here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I got the day off work, so I'm pretty happy about that. But it's Monday, it's the end of August, and we're getting close to season. So I kind of wanted to make a little bit of a gear list video when it comes to my whitetail setup. So as a lot of you guys know, I'm in Southwest Wisconsin, big bluff country, big ag country, steep hills, but not necessarily big country in a sense. You know, there's a lot of slivers and woodlots. And a lot of different changes in topography, but it's not vast, wide open areas like out west, and it's not big timber like northern Wisconsin would be. So that's kind of the area and the reasoning for this exact setup. That's kind of what I'm trying to cater all of my stuff towards. So kind of just going to give you a rundown on everything that I use. I'm not brand loyal whatsoever. I use pretty much anything and everything that is actually going to be functional and work for me. I don't care what camo pattern. I don't care if it's solid or is camo. I don't care what color necessarily, just darker colors, black, green, deep brown, stuff like that. I like functional over fashionable. I feel like a lot of the industry is getting towards that. Look good, not necessarily function good. And I sit in very inclement weather. It does not matter if it's 30 below zero or 70 degrees. I'm out in the tree stand if the time is right. I don't care what the conditions are. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, sleeting. Whatever it is, I'm going to be hunting. This is my life. This is what I do. This is the time of the year, the fall time, is what I live for, what I wait for all year long. All the hours that I put in the off season is just because I'm thinking about hunting. So I'm going to give you a rundown here. We're going to start from inside to out when it comes to my layering. So basically, this is the underwear that I use. It's a full, I believe this is a full wool underwear. These are from First Light. Maybe the Arrow Wolves underwear. I think I've got 5 or 6 pairs of these, but these are awesome. I love these. I wear them every day. They're awesome when it comes to light and being able to move and not sweat a lot. So I like these. They fit really well. They're not bunchy. They don't bunch up on you. And like I said, they dry really well. So that's my underwear setup. I haven't tried a lot of others. I've tried your typical polyester blend, cotton blend stuff, but I like those a lot more for everyday use, but at the same time hunting in particular. The next kind of base layer setup, I've got a lot of different base layers. This one in particular is from Cabela's. It's Cabela's brand. I don't know a lot about it. It's part of the ECWCS base layer. It's kind of your waffle top design. I like it just because it's tight to the skin. It feels like it breathes really well. It's a little bit tight. It doesn't have a lot of stretch to it if you get them tight like that. But I like this one. It seems like it wicks moisture really well. Keeps me fairly warm. So I like that. That's more of my mid-season layer. I've got a couple of the base layers from First Light as well, the mid layers. I like those a lot. Those are good for functionality when it comes to traveling for hunts in Alaska, out west. Places that you're going to be shedding layers often. It's cold in the morning, gets a little bit warmer in the midday. I like those because they're zip off, and I don't have to take all of my clothes off to drop a layer. I can just zip those off and shed a layer that way. I like those. I'm not sure where those are at the time of this video, but I'll try to find those for hunting this year. But now we're gonna get into a little bit of the later season stuff. This is a First Light Furnace bottom. I've got the top as well, like a quarter zip top. These are for sure like my late season setups. If I'm sitting long hours, these are both merino wool, but they've got a polyester mix with it, so it's a little bit more flexible, stretchy. I like these a lot. I don't think they're as warm as they advertise. they're supposed to be their heavyweight, super cold temperature base layer, but like I said, I get cold fairly easy. I don't have a lot of fat on myself, and I'm kind of a cold individual in general. So when I'm sitting in the stand, I can't just wear a heavy base layer and a jacket. That's just me personally. I layer up with a lot of different layers, so I can stay fairly thin. So these are nice. I like them, and I continue to wear them. But I feel like there's something missing there, whether that be like a wind stop or something. But I'm trying to kind of alleviate that problem here this year, and I think I might have found something that will do that. That I'll get into in a little bit here. But as far as my straight to the skin on the top, this is from First Light as well. Really, any top is gonna work for you. I've even wore t-shirts before, just regular t-shirts. I don't know. I've wore this one so much the label's gone on it. I want to say this is a very light wool, but again, I can't tell you. The one problem that I found with this is that it kind of holds a stench after you wash it a couple times. It doesn't necessarily seem like it goes back to not smelling at all. So I might have to retire this one after maybe this year or a couple of years. But I've had this for a while, maybe 2019 I've had it since. And you can see it's been washed a bunch. It's real faded. There's some snags in it here and there. But I continue to go back to it just as my first layer in my base layer setup. But we're going to dive into a little bit of pants here. As you can see, these are pretty well smoked. These are also a First Light. This is their brush pants, and I love these. I'm hard on all of my stuff, if you can't tell. This is from starting a fire sometime. Burned out the crotch on them, like just hard on my stuff. I wear them in brambles, walking through everything, chainsawing in the wintertime. These were wore to work one day, so you can see there's a bunch of white paint on them that hasn't come out. I'm not going to be wearing these in the woods, but this is like an everyday pant for doing habitat work, scouting, trail camera stuff, anything like that. They don't look good, but they function good. They've got a lot of stretch to them, and they're still hanging together even after I've just completely blown them out. And they've got a ripstop type front on these, so they're really good, like I'm saying, walking through brambles, going through thick stuff. So those are a favorite of mine when it comes to just doing random work. I used to wear them a lot in the stand early season, but as you can see, they're not really up to par for sitting in a tree stand anymore. So kind of retired them for that, and I've kind of transitioned to this. This is a pant that I picked up last year, or maybe a couple years ago. But this pant I've absolutely fallen in love with. It's from QU. It's a little bit heavier. It's thicker than this pant here from First Light, but it's I would say it's a lot more functional. One criticism I do have of it is I wouldn't like to see as many zippers on the back, especially for your rear pockets, because spending a lot of time in the tree stand and the seat, those zippers can kind of start poking into your hind end there, and it's not necessarily real comfortable, and they get snagged on the mesh metal of the tree stand. So when you're shifting around, you can make a little bit more noise than I would like. I would like to see maybe 0 pockets back here and 0 area for any snags to get hung up on those mesh seats, because a lot of them, as you guys probably know, a lot of those seats end up getting chewed up and whatever. So a lot of times I'm sitting on bare metal, probably, which is not necessarily great all the time. But that is one thing I'd like to see changed, and maybe there is a company out there that's got something like it. But I really like the front pockets. They hold together nicely. They have these side zips for ventilation. I like that. So that way I do wear them late September, when the temps are still fairly high in the early season, if I do go out sitting. But they held up really well. I wore these in Alaska every single day. They're slightly waterproof. I might hit them with a DWR waterproofer just to enhance that a little bit, so I don't have to break out rain gear on some of those backcountry treks that I'm going on. But these are an awesome pant. I don't remember what they're called exactly. They're the Access Hybrid pants. And so that's what these are. I really like them. I just got a green color with those. Like I said, I'm not necessarily too concerned about camo. And at the same time, as we get farther along in the outdoor space here, I don't necessarily like to be aligned with a lot of different brands and stuff. I like to kind of just do my own thing. I don't want to be lumped into a group of like kind of those cult-like followings when it comes to camo. You have to wear this. If you don't wear this, you're not a good hunter. If you don't wear this brand, if you wear this brand, you're I don't get into that kind of stuff. I use what works for me. I don't care what camo brand it is. I don't think it affects nearly as much as what a lot of people think. I'm a believer in camouflage, but at the same time, probably not to the point of the advertisement of a lot of these brands. So I've killed a lot of deer wearing strictly solid clothing with zero camouflage on my body. I've also killed deer with camouflage on my body. Do I think it makes a difference? Not really. So that's just kind of how I choose to roll. I like to be kind of a soul guy when it comes to not, I guess, getting in to brand loyalty and stuff like that. I like to use what works for me, use what I think works well, and not try to sell, stuff that I don't necessarily believe in just because it looks cool. And you can wear it out to dinner or whatever. So that's kind of my stance on that stuff. But we're going to go into, this is my bread and butter right here. This is a sweater I picked up a couple of years ago. This is from Fjallraven. It's called the Lada sweater, L-A-D-A. And it's 100% wool. This thing is my ride or die. I'm wearing this thing every time I go out sitting. From the beginning of October to the end of the season, I have this thing on. It doubles as like a blackout if I'm sitting in a ground blind, but at the same time, it's so versatile. Like I can wear this thing in any conditions. Right? This is my mid-level layer that's going to go over either those furnace long johns or just a hoodie in general. This will go over, but I absolutely love this thing. It's a deep brown, and I love it. Like, I feel like I can hide in the shadows, and it's a soft color. It's not shiny at all. It's dull, and that's what I love. I love something that's just going to be dull up in the tree, and the sun's not going to shine off this at all. It's no reflection. I feel like I can just immerse myself in that tree stand, and these deer have no idea that I'm there. So I love this. It's quiet. As you can see, I'm smoking it right now, and it doesn't make virtually any noise. There's no weird noises are going to come off this thing. So that's my staple right there. That's my favorite article of clothing right there. As far as the handwear, I got these this year. These are from Whitewater. It's a fishing brand, but these are fingerless wool gloves, and I'm a huge fan of fingerless gloves. These are going to be my new ride or dies. These are awesome. They're well built. They've got some rubberized coating on the palm here to keep some grip there, but I love having my hands free, my fingers free, because I am shooting a hinge release when it comes to bow hunting. So I need to be able to feel that release, and these are perfect. They're cut at the right length. They're not too long. They're not loose, and they're fairly heavy. So it's gonna keep my hands nice and warm. So I'm looking forward to running these all year. But diving into a little bit of my outer shell stuff, I've got a couple more things for the inside that I want to show you here first. But this is another piece from Whitewater. This is their torque heated vest. It's a battery powered heated vest. This thing's gonna be really fun for me to try. I'm thinking I'm gonna wear this probably under this wool sweater, and then over the top of a sweatshirt, and that's probably gonna be this sweatshirt from Whitewater as well. Like a lot of you guys know, I film professional fishing for TV, and I'll film a lot of the National Walleye Tour events, so I'm immersed in some of these fishing brands, and a lot of the situations I find myself in fishing are very similar, if not identical, to hunting. So a lot of this stuff is catered to that fisherman. And these sweatshirts are a beast. They're super heavy, very, very warm. I like this front pocket they've got. It's got a zipper along it as well, so you can zip that up and keep things safe if you're storing anything in there. It's like a charcoal, slightly blue tint to it, but this is not going to be my outer layer, so I'm not worried about that. The only thing that's going to be exposed here is going to be this hood outside of my wool sweater, so it's probably going to go, if it's real cold in the 30s and 40s, I'm probably going to go that First Light long sleeve crew top, probably that furnace base layer, this sweatshirt, my torque heated vest, and then this wool over the top, and that's going to be my top setup, and that'll ride me the whole season virtually. So really excited about those two things. I do have this Scent Lock windproof, wind stopper vest. I think that torque heated vest is going to take the place of this. This doesn't have any insulation. It's just like a wind stopper. I've liked it. It's done me well. I've had it for a long time, probably since like 2013. It's still holding up really well. It's got that snow camo, which I don't really care. I feel like it might stick out a little bit if there isn't snow, but that wasn't my outer layer a lot of times anyway. But as far as my headwear, I wear a lot of different hats, mainly just beanies. This is a 5-side hat, my brand. I usually run a straight gray. I don't have a straight gray on me right now. This is like a navy blue gray. I like these hats. They fit well. They stretch, and if they start to get loose on you, you just throw them in the washer and wash them away, and then you're good to go, and they're nice and tight fitting again. But yeah, that's my brand. That's what I wear for a hat. Kind of digging into the outer layers here. This is another Kuiu jacket. This is another staple for me. I've fallen in love with this jacket. I've wore it so much. I got this 2 years ago, I want to say. It's slightly waterproof, not 100% waterproof. I've wore it in rainstorms and ended up getting soaked, but it wicks the rain to an extent. If it's just light rain, you're fine. If it's heavy rain and a real soaker, you're gonna get wet. But this is the guide jacket. It's kind of a mid-weight jacket. It's very tough. I like how strong it is. It doesn't rip. I've wore this all the way from out west, South Dakota, Missouri, Wisconsin, Alaska, and it's been a staple. It again doesn't have that shine. It's a dull color, and it kind of just blends into the surroundings. It doesn't reflect sunlight, and that's another thing that I really like. I like dull colors, like I was saying, but that's a staple in my system. That I'm throwing on as I need it over the top of that wool. If it's drizzling a little bit and I don't want to get wet, I'll just throw that shell on and be good to go. I could throw some extra waterproofer on that just to waterproof it farther, but kind of diving into my insulation stuff here. Now, this stuff is all relative to the situation. This is a down jacket from First Light. It's okay. It's okay. I wore it a lot. This is the Brooks down. It's very chintzy, and I'm not just saying that. It's very delicately made. Any thorns or sticks or anything that you brush this thing up against, it's going to start pulling out. I've got a small rip here, and over time, this area of my jacket here, it's just losing all that down, and I've burned it a couple times just doing random stuff around the campfire. It's noisy, but like I said, this is not necessarily a hunting jacket. This is more of a camp slash last minute insulation. I like it because it packs up very tight, but at the end of the day, all down's gonna do that. So I might be looking for a new down jacket. Be interesting to see if you guys had anything that you like from a brand. But yeah, that's just what I've got. I've got this Brooks down from First Light. It's okay. Not in love with it. It works for what I need it and when I need it. But kind of going into this is a jacket. This is from Shields. This is Shields brand. This is a jacket I wore in Alaska a little bit, just because I wanted something tighter fitting, a little more snug, but at the same time to match my surroundings. When I was out there, I was expecting snow. We got snow. I was expecting some lighter tan colors, some white colors, some rocky colors. So I kind of went with this snow camo blend. I don't know what jacket this is at all. This was kind of a last minute purchase before we left because I didn't feel like I had anything for sitting there glassing to really layer up and bundle up and stay warm. Like I said, we were on Kodiak Island, so we're spending a lot of time behind the glass, and then at the snap of a fingers, you're moving, trying to put a stock on a deer. So this was a nice jacket. It's a little bit big for my liking, especially when it comes to being able to pack it away, because I was not hiking with this jacket on. It's just too thick. So it worked. I like the zipper system on it. I haven't put a lot of time behind this jacket yet, especially when it comes to tree stand hunting. Maybe in November, if it gets cold and we get some snow, I'll throw this thing on. But it's a little bulky. Like I said, I like to stay very mobile when it comes to in the tree stand, so I can move and not get all bundled up. But that's just another piece that I kind of picked up for a spare and last minute stuff. As far as my rain gear, if I'm sitting in the stand, like I said, I'm sitting no matter the conditions. I will sit. If it's the heart of the rut and I've got a rainstorm coming in, I will sit because the deer still move. I see a lot of deer and bucks rolling in the rain. The only problem with that is your blood trailing aspect of things. This is another piece from Whitewater. This is the Great Lakes Pro rain suit, and I love this thing. I've got a couple months behind this thing in the boat, and it does work. I love how flexible and movable it is. This is a medium. It fits me perfect. And basically all this is going to act as is like a safety net if it does start raining for me in the stand. But if I'm expecting rain, this is 100% going to be in my bag and ready to rock. I like how black it is. It's got a little bit of gray, shiny, reflective tape on here. Not the end of the world. As long as you don't move, you're fine. And like I'm saying, when you are getting rain, it's normally dark and dreary, so you're not going to have that sun reflecting off this stuff. But yeah, gonna be running this for my rain gear, whether that be in Alaska, out west, in the Midwest tree stand hunting. That is 100% gonna be my rain gear. That's what I'm gonna be wearing. I've got the bibs as well. Those function really nicely. So that's the whole waterproof game there. As far as my optics, I just picked these up too, not too long ago. These are from Shields. This is a bino harness. I got a good price on it. It was on sale, so I picked it up. It's got a rangefinder pocket here, easily accessible. That's been kind of my Achilles heel, is finding a bino harness that I like, that's not too bulky, that I know my string is not going to hit. So I'm curious to see how that pans out for me. I like having that rangefinder right there, easily accessible, so I can get in and get a range on something and then stow it away right away. I'm always fumbling around with my pockets in the front here on my side, stuff like that, so it's going to be nice to get that out of there. So yeah, excited to see how this works. It's just a gray. It's magnetic on the back. Maybe a little bit noisy, but if you're careful, it'll be fine. Looks like you can put some some adapters on the front here to store some more stuff, maybe like a pistol or something if I'm out in Alaska or out west or something. That's kind of a neat feature that we'll see if I ever use. But yeah, that's my optics. As far as my bigger hunts, I'm using these Vulture HDs. These are a 15 by 56. These are my big boys. They're a workhorse. As you can see, the eyepiece is all screwed up. Like I said, I'm very tough on my gear. I throw it around. I don't treat it nicely. It's supposed to function in bad conditions, and I definitely show my stuff that. But as far as my whitetail stuff, these are pretty well done. These are trashed. I like the Crossfires more than the Diamondbacks from Vortex. These are 10 by 50s. I love these, but they don't work anymore. I pretty well destroyed these, and they're very blurry now. Maybe I can try to clean them up a little bit and see if they still work, but every night I've been out scouting in the summer here, I haven't been able to see hardly anything with these. But for the time period they worked, probably 6, 7, 8 years, they were excellent. I love these things. They're small, they pack away nice, they're light, and I just seem to be able to see out of these Crossfires a lot better than I can the Diamondbacks. Not sure why, but that's just how I have noticed it. As far as my boots, when it comes to tree stand hunting, I've done a boot review before. These are Lacrosse, I believe Arrowhead or something, 800 grams. Like you can see, they're faded. They're almost like white now. They were originally nice and green. That's very gone now, but that's like my early season boot. My mid-season to late season are going to be these Irish Setter, I believe out of the Exoflex series, probably, I can't remember what they're called, but those are a nice boot. Rutmaster 2.0s, I think. Love those. They're a little bit bigger on the pad of the boot there, so a little bit noisier going in and out of the stand. As far as my safety stuff, this is a shadow harness from Hunter Safety Systems, along with the rope that comes with that. I use this all the time. It's a necessary thing, especially when you're sitting and hanging bang setups and small hang-on tree stands. You have to have a safety harness on. As far as the ladder stands, I try to have one on all the time as well. That's the one I go with. I don't like the vest style. I like the shadow harness. It's small, it moves with me, and I don't have a clue it's on really. But as far as my pack, I'm using the Mystery Ranch. Goodness, what is this one? Treehouse, I believe. If I were to go back and get another one, I would get the Treehouse that's got the fuzzy outside. This is like the abrasive outside. It's seen a lot of rain, it's seen a lot of blood, and it's dried on there a little bit, and it's almost noisier now. It's like crusty. So when this rubs on bark, it's not good. I broke a clip off it in Alaska. I might have to just retire it and do strictly out west with this one or something, but I keep my tree arm and stuff in there, my second angle, my bow hangers, everything, my saws and stuff in there. Everything that I can't keep on my person when I'm tree stand hunting is going in there. Alright, so the video cut out on me, but yeah, that's my pack setup. As far as like a travel bag, what I use for toting my stuff around, throwing it in and out of the truck, getting dressed in the field, I use the Scent Crusher bags. I don't use the ozone generator. I take that out immediately. I've done enough research on ozone being a lung irritant, and I don't want that around me, and I've noticed that it smells horrible, so I don't use that. I use this strictly as a scent proof type bag, just something that holds a lot of clothes and then I can travel around with and throw in and out of the bed of the truck. I also have the First Light duffel bag. It's like the medium size, but that's mainly for traveling around, filming, fishing shows and filming different hunting stuff. So that's kind of what I'm using that for. But yeah, as far as the last thing in my setup is this is my bow. This is the Omnia from Elite. I've had this bow for 2-3 years. I like it. Not gonna say it's my favorite. I've shot a lot of different bows. I don't know if I have a favorite bow, to be honest with you. I don't really care, honestly. Like, whatever shoots good, whatever feels good, whatever is tough that can get tossed around and still function properly, that's what I use. This thing was on my pack out west. This thing was on my pack in Alaska, getting beat up, hitting rocks. There's chips in it. There's rust on all the bolts. Like, there's mud dauber holes in this thing. Like, it's beat up. I don't take care of my stuff. I treat it as a tool, like it is. And if it can't handle what I put it through, then I'll find something new. But up to this point, it's functioned right. I can't complain. I've got the CBE Engage on the front of it as my sight. I like that because it's fairly simple. It's a mover sight, but it's fairly simple to get fixed if something goes wrong. I've actually had to completely re-sight in my bow out west after a long 14-hour truck ride, and missed an antelope because of it. So something that I can completely re-sight in if need be on the road. This is the QAD Ultra Rest. I use the hinge release from UltraView, back tension release, basic 8 or 10 inch stabilizer on the front. Yeah, it works. Like I said, I've used all the bows before. Hoyt, Matthews, Elite. I'd like to try some other companies just to see how those are as well. But yeah, I don't feel like it's necessary to keep changing bows every year, because they're not. At the end of the day, these companies aren't changing much. If anything, they're changing things so they can make more money off of you. So you have to buy more accessories to then make more money off you. So don't necessarily agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with everything a lot of these companies do. So yeah, I mean, I use what works. I use what kills deer, and this has done that so far. So I like it. Yeah, as far as all of my whitetail setup, this is pretty close to it. My stands, I'll probably make a separate video on that to keep you guys in the loop on what I'm using for hang and bang setups, what I like, what I feel like is safe, what's functional. I don't use a saddle because I feel like it's that's saturated with a lot of social media driven hype. Not into that. I like sharing real, epic, raw, crazy shit online. A lot of the social media side of things doesn't like to show that, which is fine. But I share raw, real, not polished stuff, crazy things that I encounter when I'm hunting. And I don't promote anybody. I don't try to sell anybody any gear. Like I said, as you guys can see, I got a smorgasbord of a lot of different brands here, and I'm not paid or anything by any of them. So this is just strictly what works for me. That's how I'd like to keep it. I make my money elsewhere, but I would like the whole goal with the social media and the YouTube side of things is to share what works, but also keep my ability to speak freely, not be bought and paid for, not be handcuffed with what I can and can't say, and then have to sell something that I don't necessarily believe in to make a buck. That's not who I am. I use what I use. I use what works. Minimalist mindset. Like I said, this stuff is what I wear for killing deer. I don't wear this to the winery to look cool. I don't wear this to the pumpkin patch to look cool. Like, this is what I use to kill deer, and all of it is a tool. It's not a fashion statement. And that's where things are starting to turn when it comes to the outdoor industry and hunting clothing and whatever. More of a fashion statement than it is a tool in your arsenal. So that's where I'd like to see things go back to. That's how I treat things. I don't treat it good. It's not pretty, this stuff, but it works. And yeah, as far as getting feedback from you guys, if you got anything that works good for you, I'd like you to drop it in the comments and I'll check it out. As far as any questions with any of this stuff, hit me up, drop a comment, and I'll try to answer any of the questions you guys got. Like I said, I just try to be honest with all this stuff, what I like, what I don't like, and things that I think will help you guys if you do go ahead and use them, and things I think you'll like. But yeah, as far as anything else, I got nothing. I'll probably make a few more videos on stuff like this, maybe a mid-season update, what I've been using, what I've been using more than other stuff, how I've liked it so far. I might potentially be going to Missouri in the first week of November to film a big hunt for whitetails on an epic piece of property. So maybe give a little gear list rundown out there for my filming setup. That could be cool. Yeah, keep you guys in the loop. This is the stuff that I run. This is the stuff that I like. It's not fashionable. It's not pretty. It's not high tech. It's just basic to the point, killing big deer in southwest Wisconsin. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.